Hi there, and welcome to a post by Ange. I'm Angela, and this is part 4 of our Easter edition. And in part 4, we'll learn how to make an easy dessert. So, whether you've run out of time, or maybe you've been invited to a function last minute, or someone advised that their child is now going to be in attendance, this is a quick way to make it a dessert that you can either travel with you to a friend or family member's home or have readily available for you to serve within your own home. So I'll be sharing 2 quick and easy yet stylish desserts that will be able to help you out in a pinch. All you'll need for this first dessert is a baking tray with some wax paper, a medium pot filled with water, a smaller bowl that fits over top the lid of that pot. Turn your stove to high to boil that water, some pretzel sticks, a bag of chocolate mini eggs, and some chocolate chips. Once the water has boiled in your pot, you'll begin to place the chocolate chips into the bowl. This will help to melt the chocolate chips. You can also use baker's chocolate or any other type of chocolate that you desire, whether it's a chocolate bar or not. I find that using chocolate chips is best because the small pieces tend to melt quicker than baker's chocolate or a chocolate bar, as an example. So just using a glove to hold the side of the bowl so you don't burn your fingers, and a spoon to help move the chocolate around so that it melts evenly. Once your chocolate is fully melted, you'll turn off your element, remove the bowl using an oven-safe glove, and pour it over top of your pretzel sticks. Use the spoon to scrape any excess chocolate off of the bowl into the bowl containing your pretzel sticks. Once you've done that, using your spoon to mix around the pretzels and chocolate so that the pretzel sticks are fully coated in chocolate. Transfer your chocolate-covered pretzel sticks onto your wax paper into heaping piles. If you'd like to make smaller bird's nests, you can always break your pretzel sticks into halves or quarters, but why not wow your guests with these large portions? And just taking your mini eggs, you'll place several of them within the center of these pretzel nests. So these are called bird's nests. It's a common Easter dessert amongst my family. I learned this recipe many years ago, and again, it's super easy to do. So I'm making sure that there's an equal number of eggs within each nest and that there's not one predominant color. So each nest contains a green, yellow, white, blue, and pink egg. Into the freezer it goes. Don't fast forward too quickly. Dessert number 2 is coming right your way. Preheat your oven to 350 degrees. Take out your 24-cup muffin pan, some cupcake liners and toothpicks, white cake mix, 1 cup water, 3 eggs, and half a cup of vegetable oil, some icing and food coloring, sprinkles, some decorative carrots, and chocolate mini eggs. Line your muffin pan or cupcake pan with your cupcake or muffin liners, placing your wet ingredients into the cake mix. So half a cup of vegetable oil and a cup of cold water go into your white cake mix, and you'll crack your eggs into your mixture. Mix all of your wet ingredients together, either using a fork, spoon, whisk, or whatever utensil you prefer, and you'll just create a circular motion or a whisking motion so that everything becomes blended well in together. Now that your wet ingredients are fully mixed, come back to your baking sheet and using a spoon, just spooning in 1 tablespoon of cake batter into each of your cupcake liners. I do this just eyeballing it using my spoon, and I'll do one pass over. Each cupcake liner will get about 1 tablespoon, and once I'm complete with that, I'll go back over the baking sheet to see if any of the levels are off. Sometimes you get a little more, a little less. Hi from my assistant, my cake kitty. His name is Otto. As you can see, Chef Otto is going in for a taste test, which I quickly prevented. Now grab a hold of your food coloring, and you're just going to place 1 drop of food coloring into the center of each of your cupcake liners. So I'm using all 4 colors, yellow, red, green, and blue. And once you've done that, taking a toothpick to manipulate the food coloring around within the white cake batter. And this is why you want to use white cake batter. This wouldn't work if you were to use, let's say, dark chocolate cake mix or red velvet cake mix or even carrot mix. So I use 1 toothpick for each color. So 1 toothpick for blue, red, yellow, and green. Try not to swirl too closely to your cupcake liner or you'll spoil the surprise, as the food dye will be able to be seen through that cupcake liner. So try and keep it towards the center. Once you're completed, place this into your preheated oven for 15 to 18 minutes. I'll be showing you 3 designs today, hence why I'm only taking 1/4 of the icing out of the cup and moving it into the smaller bowl and adding green food dye to it. You may want to use green food dye in the whole jar, so use as much coloring as you desire. 15 minutes have lapsed, so I'm just pulling out the tray, poking the center of a cupcake with my toothpick. It came out clean, which means that the cupcakes are done. I've turned off the oven and I'm going to let the cupcakes sit. A trick I use in order to cool the cupcakes quicker is to remove it entirely from the pan. Just be careful not to burn your fingers here because the pan will still be hot as it just came out of the oven. Our first design is going to be the easiest of them all. So you're just going to take the white icing that was left over in your icing cup, and using the spoon, 1 tablespoon, about 1 spoonful, onto the top of each cupcake. Using the back of the spoon, you'll smooth out the icing, working from the outer edge where the cupcake liner is, all the way through to the inner edge. Once you've done that, taking 1 cupcake, flipping it over, and dipping it gently into a bag of sprinkles. Arrange on a plate, and now you're ready for a taste test. Pull back the cake liner, take a bite, and reveal the surprise color inside. Wow! Now before we get decorating, there's one last step to take care of here. So finding some coconut shavings, dump them into a reusable bag, and I'm only using about 1/3 of the coconut shavings. You can use as many as you'd like, and just add green food dye. This is going to make for a grass textured effect on top of your cupcakes. So the more green drops you place within the bag, the deeper, the richer color of green you'll get within the coconut shavings. Use your hands to knead and maneuver the coconut shavings around. Pinch the bag and really manipulate it so that you get a good coating across the coconut shavings. Now, working with 6 cupcakes to start, I'm going to spoon 1 tablespoon of green icing onto these 6 cupcakes evenly. Once I've done that, I'm going to use the back of the spoon to help smooth the icing across the outer edges of the cupcake. So I like to start from the outside of the cupcake and work my way inward. Using the back of the spoon helps to create a nice smooth surface. You may prefer to use a knife or a spatula. Once that is done, take your cupcakes and place one at a time into the Ziploc bag that has your coconut shavings in it. So you just want to gently dip it in, and then followed by that, you'll wedge one of your chocolate carrots on top. So this is again going to create a grassy textured effect, and then the carrot just adds that extra Easter touch that we've been looking for. For our last design, we're again going to ice the cupcakes just using the remaining icing that is in the icing cup that was pre-purchased. So using a spoon, taking 1 spoonful, placing it over top of the cupcake, using the back of the spoon, working from that outside to inside motion to flatten the surface. Once you've completed doing this with each of your cupcakes, we're going to come back to those coconut shavings used in the previous decoration. Now that your cupcakes are iced, you'll take one cupcake, dip just a little bit of it into the coconut shavings. So you don't want the whole cupcake to be covered like it was in the last decoration. We just want a little bit on the top, and then you'll press a chocolate mini egg into the center of that little grassy area that you created. And you'll repeat this with each of your cupcakes. Again, it's time for a taste test, so pull back that liner, take a bite, and reveal the surprise color. Thank you for tuning in once again to A Post by Ange. I'm Angela. This was our Easter edition, and I hope you're doing well. I hope your Easter is fantastic, and I look forward to seeing you next week when I release some more videos. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my page.